All righty. All right. Well, welcome to the TLU Study Abroad video. And so I'd like to do I'm Charlotte Bailey. I'm the Director of International Education, and I work with all of the students interested in studying abroad. And I have a whole panel of folks here, and I'd like to go through some introductions, and then we have some questions just to get some more information from each of the folks on the panel, and then we can open it up for any final comments after that. So let's start with Dr. Jeanette Jones. Dr. Jones, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi. Thanks, Charlotte. I'm Jeanette Jones. I'm the chair of the education department. I've taught at TLU for, this is my 7th year. And in 2018, I partnered with two other faculty members, and we took 22 students to Italy. We went to Rome, Florence, and took a day trip to Bologna. And I also, in fall of 2019, taught at Harlaxton College.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for being with us. Next, we have 2 alumni with us. And Marcus, I'll start with you if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Marcus Stone. I'm a graduate of 2009. I was a marketing major. I've been on 2 faculty-led trips and a semester abroad. The first faculty-led trip was to Romania and Paris. The second one, we went to New York City, London, and then Madrid. And then my study abroad semester was in London in fall of 07. And so these days I'm a financial planner and dad.
All right, thanks, Marcus. Cassie, how about you?
Sure. Hello, my name is Cassie Gonzalez, and I am a graduate from TLU back in 2013. I studied abroad in Costa Rica in 2012, right before I left. It's been an amazing experience, and current day, what I do is I run an insurance agency, helping people with life insurance, leading a team, and also we work with retirement as well. Okay,
excellent. Thank you all to the alumni for taking time out of your busy day, I know, to be with us. And now on to the Harlaxton 5, the 5 students who are studying at one of our partner programs. And so I'll let you all introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Mark Altenhoff. I'm a senior. I'm currently studying public history, and of course I'm studying at Harlaxton College.
Hello, my name is Sage Stevens. I'm a sophomore and I'm studying international business, and I am also at Harlaxton College.
Hi, my name is Susie Perez. I am a junior. I am studying dramatic media, and I'm also studying at Harlaxton College.
Hello, I'm Diora Ayala. I'm a junior. I'm a communications and public relations major, and I'm also at Harlaxton College.
Hello, I'm Ty Edwards. I'm a junior and I study computer science at TLU, but now I'm at Harlaxton College.
Excellent. All right. Well, we have a super panel with us today, and so let's dive into our questions. We're going to start with Dr. Jones. And Dr. Jones, can you tell us what entices faculty to lead programs abroad? What do you think?
Sure. So I think faculty that want to lead these study abroad programs really do this because it helps broaden or enhance the classroom experience. We take the information we're learning in the class and students get to see it in real life. They get to experience it as well as learning about it. One example of this is while I was at Harlaxton, I taught a second language acquisition course. And my students, when they traveled to other countries where they were second language learners, they didn't speak that first language, worked on an applied project where they took the information we learned in class and got to apply it to their experiences in another country. So it wasn't just learning about a theory, they were actually experiencing that theory.
Okay, excellent. And can you then tell us why you think a faculty-led program is beneficial to students, and then maybe further to faculty members if you wish?
Sure. So faculty-led, they're shorter programs. They're not semester-long programs, and they really are for students who may be interested or aren't able to study abroad for an entire semester. This could include athletes, students who work, students whose majors just don't allow for them to be gone for a full semester. And so it still gives them a chance to learn some information and then go to another country and really experience it. I took the group of students that I took to Italy. While we were in the class here at TLU, we learned about the history of the education system starting out in Europe. And we focused on one of the universities, University of Bologna. And while we were in Italy, we actually got to go to this university, which students thought was really cool to make that connection. We talked about it and then we were actually there. I think as a faculty member, some of the benefits for me have been learning from other faculty and learning from students. It really has stretched me, but in a positive and professional way. Lastly, I think one of the great things that, and you'll probably hear the Harlaxton students talk about it and the alumni, is that they learned more than just the academic work. I enjoyed teaching students how to figure out the metro in Rome or read a train schedule and plan a trip while they were traveling abroad. And so it goes much beyond just the classroom learning. And it was great to see them grow and just become confident in their travels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right on. And often our students will participate in a faculty-led, and then because they're not really sure if they want to be gone for a whole semester, but then later after they've kind of gotten their feet wet, then they participate in a semester program. And so that's always a good kind of stepping stone sometimes.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Now on to the alumni. I have 3 questions for each of you. The first one is, what skills did each of you learn while you were abroad that you now use in your respective careers? Marcus, you want to go?
Sure, yeah. I can think of 3 skills kind of off the top of my head that I really learned and developed when I was studying abroad. And I mean, first and foremost is independence, the ability to stand on your own 2 feet when you are in a different country, you have no idea how to get from point A to point B, or even read the language depending on where you go. The ability to stand on your own, you know, family is thousands of miles away and you need to make your own decisions and do whatever you need to do to make life work. It's a super important skill that I learned. Another one was office culture. So I did a internship when I was studying abroad in London, and I got to see what office culture was like. I got to be in the office every week with a group of people, and it was really interesting to kind of learn the difference with office dynamics when the boss is in, and you know, just the inner dynamics within colleagues. And it really helped the transition for me once I graduated and went into my professional line of work, understanding what the office culture is kind of like. It made it not seem so foreign. Another thing that I was thinking about is I didn't realize as a student that as an adult, I would need effectively a PhD in logistics to make life work with kids in a business and all these different things. But you really do, and that's exactly what you get to learn when you're studying abroad. And when you get to, you know, plan out a trip to a different country and you're figuring out your flights, you're figuring out how to do transit in different areas, what places you want to go to, where you want to stay, how do you get from point A to point B, all these different things are super helpful to get all the different pieces of the puzzle moving and then, you know, put together in a logistical plan. And then I guess the last thing that was really helpful, and I'm not so sure that it's like a hard skill, but the well-rounded worldview, I think that I have, thanks to doing parts of the study abroad programs that I was a part of, it really helps me understand the world a little bit better as a whole, understanding what's going on in different areas, seeing different cultures, just ways of thinking has been a really helpful thing for me and kind of my thought processes, you know, since I've graduated and moved on.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Yeah. Logistics is a good thing, and that's probably something that the current students will be able to speak to a little bit. Cassie, how about you?
Sure. I agree with everything that Marcus just said. Some of the things, the skill sets that I know that I took away from, you know, studying abroad to now applying them today in the workforce is, well, there's a lot, to be honest. But I'm sure as y'all can identify over there is that sometimes you don't know everything. You have to admit to yourself that one, you don't know really as much as you think you do. You have to be open to ask questions. Especially in the workforce, you're not going to know everything. Whenever you get on the job, you got to start somewhere. You got to be open to asking questions, right? Another thing is recognizing different perspectives. So we are so used to being where we're at in the United States, right? With a culture, which is just identified by the place we're just happen to be planted at that moment. But once you go somewhere else, it's complete culture shock. You know, things that you look at here and that you live in, you know, your norm, and you go somewhere else, you're like, wait, what? Like, you know, how could this be? Or this is the way they live. But opening your eyes and recognizing that everyone has a different culture and that has something to offer you, and you can always learn something from it. So not being scared to, you know, not just sit with yourself as far as who you are, how you grew up, what surrounded you, but opening your eyes and just embracing that. Don't be scared of something that's different, right? Because you never know, it just might change your perspective, and you never know where that's going to take you or grow you in a certain way. And then language. So I'm Hispanic, and it's interesting because I get this a lot. Everyone just automatically thinks that I know how to speak Spanish, and I don't. So going to Costa Rica and being there, it was interesting because you had people wanting to interact with you, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. So it gave me a different perspective too of wanting to just dig deep back into my culture of wanting to learn Spanish. So I've gotten better at it. I'm not a master at it, but just knowing that in the workplace, that presents challenges when you don't know. I have, you know, different leads that we work, and some of them are Spanish speaking. And so now it's a little bit better to be able to say, okay, I can come out and grasp what they're trying to tell me and speak what I need to. Whereas before, if I didn't know Spanish as well, I mean, I'd have to give that lead to somebody else for them to go and help that person. So those are just some of the key things, I think, at the top of my head that I know that I gained while studying abroad, the perspective it gave me.
Excellent. Yeah, and as the two of you know, and the current students abroad will know eventually, is it's not only recognizing the different perspectives, but in coming back, then you have this whole new knowledge, and then you then have to put it back into perspective in your lives back here in your daily work. Yep, indeed. All righty. The second question for you all, did your study abroad experience spur any subsequent interest in traveling? Marcus, you want to go?
Oh, sure, I'll go. So absolutely, yes. It's kind of helped me set up my life in a way where I can travel quite a bit. So I tend to spend, 3 to 4 months a year in Colorado. I live in Austin, Texas now. My goal is just to be out and travel, and also expose my family to that. And in addition to that, like the actual travel, it's spurred a greater interest in what's going on outside of our country. We're all interrelated, and understanding how other countries are addressing issues or encountering problems can give us a stronger footing as we build out our own belief system on the way that things should be.
Cassie?
Definitely. So I know for me, I didn't really realize what it meant to be missing out on travel or experience something new. So whenever I went, it definitely opened my eyes. And so since then, I have traveled a lot. I lived in Alaska for 2 years. I've gone different places, different countries. So it's been awesome. But I think on something that really more impacted me, because one is, you can see things on internet or whatnot in places. The bigger thing that really got me was people. It's opened my eyes in a bigger way of, sure, there's a different place, but man, seeing somebody of a different culture, but opening my eyes to having a conversation. It's kind of like the similar thing that I learned whenever I went to TLU. I lived under such a small rock growing up in a small town. And I was so ashamed when I went to college to be like, wait, this is a religion? Like, what is this? And not knowing it, but now knowing, hey, there's different cultures out there that you probably don't even know that exist. So instead of just being on the outside, like kind of questioning or like, what is that? Embracing that and not being scared to ask questions or meet somebody who's much different than myself.
Excellent. Yeah, no, you kind of get the bug, and then yeah, that's a good point. Not only exploring locations, but just getting to know different people and in those locations. And so excellent. All right, last question. What advice would the two of you give to future students who are thinking about going abroad or getting ready to go abroad or whatever? And let's change it up. Cassie, you go first.
I'd say jump in. If you're thinking about going to study abroad, or if you are, it can be a very scary experience. It could be something that you're nervous about because, you know, it might be your first time you're leaving mom and dad or leaving family and everything that you know. But you have to remember that, you know, whenever you're there, you only have so much time. Make the most of it. Challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Even if it's a baby step, something's better than nothing, but to just dive in, try to soak in the places that you go. And then also don't be scared to, you know, talk to people, you know, maybe don't go alone, but, you know, have a travel buddy that's with you, and just make the most of it. I know whenever I went to Costa Rica, just meeting some of the locals were some of the best experiences for me, because you get to see their perspective of living. And I asked them, hey, would you ever consider going to the US? And all of them are like, no, we would never. I'm like, what? You wouldn't? They're like, no. And that's how they're saying there is pura vida, it's pure life. And they're so content. And you just have an appreciation whenever you talk to them. It's like, wow, it made me see life through a different lens at that point in time too, which just expanded my thinking. So dig in, don't be scared, and enjoy it while you're there.
That's good
Absolutely.
advice.
Oh my goodness. I'm wondering if you had my notes. I was going to say, you know, just dig in and go for it. Step out of the comfort zone. Seriously, have fun. You know, one of the things, getting to know locals, and just like Cassie was saying, it will expand your mind and really create some interesting conversations. One, don't spend time on the computer, get outside, go out, experience the different areas, and just know that it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable at points, but it's super fun. There's so much fun to be had. And like on the faculty-led trips, not everybody may know this, but did you know that Dr. Cook will get out on a dance floor? Like, I've seen it happen. It happened in Romania, and it was a blast. We're having a great time. Dr. Olson too. It was super fun. So it's a great experience to learn more. As much as you're learning about the world, you're truly learning as much about yourself.
That's excellent. This video is going to go out to the public, so watch out, Dr. Cook. Your name's going to be out there. Okay, excellent. All right. Thank you all, Marcus and Cassie. You guys, that's some excellent, insightful comments there. All right, on to the Harlaxton 5, the current students abroad. And I have 4 questions for you all, and so you can each jump in and take turns answering these. So the first one is, why did you want to study abroad?
Well, I'd always been a traveler ever since I was little, and my parents would take me everywhere across the US. And gradually, I just began to get so curious about the outside world, outside of the US, just the chance to explore new cultures and societies and see how the world works and how big it actually is. And it's just that natural curiosity for me that really got me going. And of course, me being a history major, the history in the United States is only a couple hundred years old, or over in Europe, it's like thousands of years old. And that's just mind-blowing really for me. So that's why I really wanted to come, to broaden my mind and come back changed, I suppose.
I've always wanted to go abroad, and whenever I learned about the study abroad program at TLU, I knew immediately that I wanted to do that, because I didn't just want to go abroad for a weekend, for a week, a month even. I wanted to actually experience what it was like to be over there and to experience the culture in a much deeper way. And so that's why I chose to study abroad specifically.
So with me, for studying abroad, I wanted to see how it was different in the UK, like as it was mentioned, like how like Americans see British people, or like Welsh, or like the surrounding areas as well. because it's different from the US, and how we live our lives and our everyday lives are different from like UK people's lives, and how we meet locals, and how they see us, because like they have a different impression of us, and we have an impression of them, but everybody's different. And I really wanted to see that
part. Whenever I was first looking into TLU and I looked into the study abroad program, and I didn't know why, but I knew I just had to go at some point in my life. And it just makes so much sense to do it while you're in college. There's just so many things going your way. And like, you know, you have the weekends to go travel and, you know, like live it up. And then during the week, then you can like stay back, do, you know, your classwork and everything, recharge, and then go out again on the weekend. And so I think it's a really good way of doing it. And also going for a whole semester, I knew that it would allow me to really like live it out and not be much of like a tourist or a visitor, but to see the culture, to see the life, like Susie was saying.
Right. I wanted to study abroad because it's every person is a new world that you have not discovered, have not met. So going to a whole new country with a bunch of other people with different culture perspectives and just ideologies is just an amazing experience. It was an opportunity that I wanted to. In Harlaxton, I mean, it's a manor, and that's pretty amazing already too. So yeah.
All right, excellent. And I will say that's what is so amazing these days is that these students, I mean, they're 6 hours difference and a zillion miles away, and we can zoom them in and be right with us on this video. And what's way cool, not all that long ago when students studied abroad, they had to write letters home. And so there was, because phone calls were super expensive. And so, yeah, imagine that. But so moving right along. All right, second question for you all. All right, what encouraged you all to take, what or who encouraged you all to take the steps to move forward in the process of studying abroad?
Well, for me, it was numerous things, I suppose. I credit my grandfather and my dad with instilling me with that love of traveling. And of course, and we've traveled all over the US, but at the end of the day, you know, there's only so much in the US compared to the rest of the world. And I just wanted to get out there and explore the world, because there's so many amazing things out there. And I just want to come back newly changed, and I want to come back wiser. I want to come back more, I can't even describe it, but I just want to come back changed. I really do. And I know that this experience will do that for me.
The things that encouraged me to go were mostly people. My family definitely wanted me to have this experience. And then also the wonderful people at TLU, the professors, and of course, Charla, they were amazing. They definitely encouraged me to go and helped me along the way.
What encouraged me to go was that just talking to people that have studied abroad in the past and looking where I want to go. Most of the people around me with in my work, my field, and my home life, they encourage me as well. It's like, hey, you should go while you have the chance, because it is easier in college, because you can, like, you're studying there is like, you can't really like mess that up, let's say. And like, it's, as I said, it's easier to go when you're in college because you're studying there, and you have the chance on the weekends to go out and see the world, basically.
Sorry. On my part, it's very well like integrated at TLU, where there's a lot of forces that like help you go that way. And so, you know, like with how I knew I wanted to do it, it just kind of pushed me along. And this is one of those things where if you don't like do it for yourself. Like if you just like think about it, like, oh, you know, I don't know, maybe not. Like you need to sit down and like, you know, do I want to do this for myself? Do I want to like go see the world and then like put yourself to it, and then you know all of this like comes together. That's how I see it.
Since I was a kid, my mom and I always traveled, and she's always inspired this saying of never say no to an opportunity to travel and explore the world. We don't get many years to live here, you know, we're pretty short-lived. So to explore it all, or at least part of it, and discover new things and have adventures, that's amazing. So when I discovered, you know, that TLU always had this policy of, you know, we have to study abroad, try it, come on, we want you to join us. I was like, yeah, since freshman year, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. So here I am.
Yeah, excellent. And I will say for Dior, yeah, she was in my office like in the first week of when she first came to TLU. So that's kudos to her. All right, excellent. So for you all, I know this may not exist, but as close as you can come to an answer, but can you describe what a typical day might be at Harlaxton during your time? And I'll preface this just for the audience out in video land, that Harlaxton College is the British campus of the University of Evansville. And so the University of Evansville is a partner for us and one of our affiliated programs. And Harlaxton is in this beautiful manor. I encourage everybody to go on the TLU website under academics and under study abroad, and you can see the pictures, and it's every bit as beautiful as it is in real life. And Harlaxton is about an hour by train north and a little bit west of London, just to give some perspective. So yeah, so how about for you all? What would be kind of a typical day in Harlaxton Manor?
As typical as can be, you say. So let's see. So for me, my first class begins at 11 a.m. Or whichever class it is, either British history or British literature. In the afternoon, if I don't have any classes, I would probably, if I needed to, pick a supply run to Grantham, which is the nearest town, of course, and you can take a shuttle there and, you know, get all your necessities and whatever you need. And then after I get back, I would do laundry. And yeah, so I've learned how to do my own laundry here, so that's been exciting. But yeah, that's like my usual Tuesdays. Or I would just study or relax and do work, either here in the state dining room in this little cupola here, or down in the Schroeder Lounge. So yeah.
Cool for me is you wake up and then you go down a lot of stairs. There are a lot of stairs here, and then you get to eat lovely meals because there we have wonderful caterers. And then you get to study a little bit in the morning before you have your first couple of classes. And then, so from like 9 to 5, that's around class and study time. It's frozen. And then after that,
We're ready. All right. Well, we're back at it. We had just a little bit of technical difficulties. Again, the Harlaxton 5 are a zillion miles away. And so, but we're back. And so we'll pick up. So the question was, describe a typical day at Harlaxton, and Sage, take it away.
a typical weekday for me at Harlaxton is you wake up, you get to go down a lot of stairs because there are a lot of stairs at Harlaxton. And then you go to breakfast, which is all the meals here are catered and they're absolutely delicious. And then from about 9 to 5, that's your study time. And also you have classes during that time. Then after that, you have dinner, and then it's club events.
My typical day depends if I get up on time for breakfast. My first class is at 11, and then I'll run down to lunch after that, have some study on time in between, and go to my next class at 2:30. It depends if it's like a Tuesday or Thursday. After that, this would be my Thursday. I would go to my 4 to 7 class, which is very long, but it's fun. And I would eat dinner after that. And then on Thursday, now it's like the house games that we have. And you're either in one of 4 houses, and we'll play either games, or we have a bake off, or we just have fun. Yeah.
So for me, I come back like at some point on Sunday, hopefully after a weekend of traveling around, and I'm tired, and I like, do some homework at the manor, go hang out in the common room with people, and maybe stay up late, a little bit later than I should, and sleep through breakfast as you do. Although if I went, it would be very good meals. So do that, and then yeah, if I've got morning classes on Tuesday, Thursday, then go to those and go to lunch, and after that, yeah, a bunch of study time. And so it's always nice to every once in a while I try to do it like every day in the week while I'm here, just like go play some piano, because I didn't really like play much piano when I was back at TLU, and it's so just nice to do here. And so do that, dinner, and yeah, no, with the meals here, I get so excited about food, and so even if I've had like a day or something, I just get so happy whenever like I get in line for dinner. Anyways. And yeah, and then just hang out with people, do the events that we have in the evenings, and then stay up a little bit later than I should and go to sleep. That's about it.
All right, so I mean, it depends. Some days I do stuff different. Like on Wednesdays, I normally do this on Wednesdays. I don't know why. I'll just go to a random room, lie down on the ground, put music, and it's like cool. I have nice view. Everything is like old fashioned, like nice. Like they said, you skip the breakfast as per usual. It's really good though. We really are about the food because we got the Michelin star chef. Yeah, we got this. So yeah, we do. So the food is like, So after that, normally my first class is like at 4, but that's on Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I got full on schedule from 9 to like 5. So it's not much to do. But normally I just hang out with guys, like with, TLU people, but I also hang out with Harlaxton the students. The staff are pretty cool too. So, just keep conversations. Something I always do every single day. I pass by the principal's office and I just wave hello because, hello. And it makes me feel like I'm more at the manor for some reason. I don't know why. They actually have like this really nice garden at the back. So I will sometimes at night, I know, but at night I'll just walk around it because here it's not like, I don't want to say it is, but it's not polluted. So you can see the stars really clearly and like all these colors. So yeah, I like stargazing. We also go out to Grantham a lot to like socialize with the locals. Now we know some like slang words, You can pass off as British people a little bit. So yeah, so my typical day is a little bit different each day. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. And that's good to know that you guys are, meeting some of the local folks and stuff like that. And just a little bit of background for the folks who will be watching this video. Harlaxton, they kind of follow the Harry Potter theme, which I hope never goes out of popularity. They divide people up. They don't use a hat, but they divide people up into 4 houses and have competitions. And yeah, recently they had a bake-off, which was way cool, that I saw on Facebook. And so, yeah, and then they earn points. And then there's a key at the end for the winner, or a wooden spoon for the last place house. And And there is a grand piano there, and it's wide open for students to be able to use, and a choir that students can participate in, as well as sporting events, volleyball, basketball, to be able to do those kinds of things as well. Okay, y'all, last question. Where are some, because I know you all have traveled on the weekends, where are some of the places where you have traveled, like your top 3 places?
Oh, there might not be a limit for me, but okay. So I love London. That was spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Especially the Houses of Parliament in the British Museum. I love those. But we also went up to the Lake District, which is one of the most beautiful areas in all of England, and just getting to stroll by the lake and just go up on the hills or see Beatrix Potter's home. Those are all really neat. And then we went to North Wales last weekend, and that was super special. Just going by the lake or going by the sea, or down in these slate caverns, or up in Carnarvon Castle, and it's all amazing. Really, you're exposed to so many different cultures and experiences, and I just love it.
We've done a lot of traveling because every single weekend it's a new trip and a new adventure to a different place. But I've mostly stuck to places in the UK, and some of my favorites so far were the trip to Wales. We got to go, like Mark said, to the Slate Caverns in Wales, and we also got to go to a little Victorian sea village or seaside village, which was really interesting to see. I also really enjoyed London whenever we got to go. And another area that I found particularly enjoyable was a trip we did to go to Lincoln and then also to Chatsworth.
What was it? Some places I plan to go, like during the mid-semester break, are Spain, Italy, and France. But I've been to those places as well.
The wonderful places I've been to a lot. Yeah, I know, as someone said earlier, there's just been a lot of traveling. But probably my top 3 would. Right. So as it was mentioned earlier, we've definitely seen a lot of places so far, but I think the top 3 for me were my first trip, Sheffield. I did half of it alone. It's over by the Peak District, and so it's really beautiful. And it was like definitely a test for me to see like how I could manage everything and to see if I could put everything together and what kind of stuff I needed to plan for further trips, because it's kind of like one of the close destinations that's really cool. So that was really nice to do. And then my second one is probably Wales. Yeah, no.
All right. Well, the Harlaxton 5, the current students studying in Harlaxton, they are going around the manor house trying to find a different connection. As you can imagine, the Wi-Fi over a zillion miles away is sometimes touch and go. And so while we're waiting for them, hopefully to return, we can move forward with the Harlaxton 5 are back. That's super great. Yay. And so let's move into sort of the wrap-up stage. For Dr. Jones, Jeanette, any parting words that you might have?
Sure. I just encourage you, if you are interested at all in study abroad, to pursue it, to look into it, talk to Charla, talk to faculty, and find out what experiences can connect with your degree plan. When I took students abroad, I had some who were very well traveled, and I had some who had never been out of the country or even on a plane before. And so the study abroad, it really is for everybody. So I just encourage you to do it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. How about the TLU alumni? You, Cassie and Marcus, what would you guys have to say?
Go for it, Cassie.
Perfect. Thanks, Marcus. Parting words would be, if you have the opportunity to do it and you think that you can't do it, find a way, because it's something you don't want to miss out on. I know for me, it definitely changed my perspective just as a person going and experiencing that. So if you can, if you're interested in it, make it happen. And like I said before, don't be scared just to go jump full in and experience everything that life has to offer, especially whenever it comes to being in a different place that you don't know. You really get to know yourself. You enjoy some great food that you probably never had before, and the people too. They give you perspective. So don't be scared and just jump in.
It's been really fun to be a part of this panel. Hearing the different stories and people's input has really made me think back to a lot of really great memories. So if you can, just try hard to make this happen. It is such a great opportunity that you just don't have any other time in your life that is as uniquely suited to be able to go do something like this as you do in college. You know, when you look back on it many years into the future, you're definitely going to be thankful that you did. And even professionally, when I was going through and, you know, interviewing candidates for our company, and a lot of people come through, there was always a head up on somebody who had a study abroad semester, because you know that they've gone out and they've experienced things, and some of it might not all be quantifiable, but when you talk with them, there's a better worldly well-roundedness that is just a really great thing. So it's just such a great opportunity to go out, learn about the world, learn about yourself, and have a ton of fun.
Excellent. The Harlaxton 5 peeps, how about you guys? Any parting words of wisdom or anything you are hoping to do? Any final words?
Well, yes, I do have some words of wisdom. It's not always going to be easy. After all, we often forget that the study part of study abroad. But it is truly an experience that's worth it. And this is the perfect opportunity to change your life, to illuminate yourself, to your way of thinking, to so many other ways. And there's a chance to seize the moment and do as much as you explore. And yeah.
Look into it, and whenever you are abroad and whenever you're planning for this, I think that it's good to plan, but I also think it's good to be flexible, because there are so many opportunities when you're here that might pass you by if you're too stuck to a routine or a plan.
Don't be afraid to go out and have an open mind about like visiting other countries, because you never know what's out there. And if you have like the urge to go, I say do it, because like you're probably not going to get this opportunity again, because you're going to say you're going to do it, and then maybe you don't get to do it later in your lifetime, and it's easier to do it now. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, I think for just about everyone, if the question is whether or not study abroad, the answer is yes. And I've heard so many people like here who were kind of like apprehensive about it, and they didn't know if they wanted to be away that long. They didn't know what it was going to mean to them. And they're definitely very glad that they're here now and that they're able to like experience all of these things.
Live your day like it's the last day, because other than that, you can't really give like an advice, because everybody has a different belief. But if you live your day like it's the last day, always enjoying, always having this wonderful childish view of the world, where you see a tree or you see a person, you're like, oh look, a person, oh look, a tree, like always be surprised, because it makes life interesting. It doesn't make it boring, and it makes it less bleak, like how people say it on TV. So that's my advice.
All right, excellent words of wisdom from all of you. And to all of you, thank you so much for being part of this panel. I look forward to rolling this out in the next couple of weeks for everybody to see. And And to those of you who will be watching this video, thank you for taking time to watch these good folks. And if you are interested in studying abroad, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks so much.
Yes.
All right, as a postscript to this video, the Harlaxton Five are given a tour of the manor. And so when they were, when we were in the formal mode, they were in the state dining room. And then now they are walking through and they are in the grand staircase, which is going from the 300 level downstairs. And so that's kind of what you see on the screen is sort of up into the ceiling. And it is beautiful woodwork. And that's the ceiling. It's all light coming in. And the paintings, the alfresco or frescoes, whatever, on the ceiling is in all the rooms is beautiful. Yep. And the students have access to all of these rooms throughout their whole time at TLU. And yeah, and you can kind of see some of the painting, and a lot of the painting is gold.
Gold room, yeah.
Yeah, this is the gold room, and that really is gold leaf paint. And so because the room is, the whole manor is on the historical registry, so any repairs, anything has to be the same. So they have to buy gold leaf paint to fix any scuffs on that room. But this is a classroom that the students then can take their classes in. And we have the good tour guides there. And so then going down the hallway.
Charlotte, there was a horror movie that was filmed here too, right?
Yes, I never saw it. Jeanette, did you see it?
No, I didn't. I think it was called The Haunting, though. Something.
Oh
like
yeah, that's what it was. And this is the long gallery. And the British Studies classes are in here, and all the paintings came with the manor house when UE when it was donated to UE, and everything's pretty much the same as when they got it. And again, the ceilings in all the rooms are absolutely beautiful. Oh yeah,
The secret
yes, that's
stairway.
right. And it comes with secret staircases, and yeah, in the former times, these were servant staircases, but it's much more fun to call them secret staircases. And in some of the rooms like this one, you can't hardly even see. You have to know where to look for that particular staircase. It goes up and down, and there's some acrobatic movement. But again, the students, it is a classroom. And they'll host events in there and things like that for the students. And there's the grand piano that I was playing. And again, yeah, students can continue their musical interests, their sporting interests, and then of course, first and foremost, their academic interests at Harlaxton. And everything, and this is the conservatory. It has tables where students can study. How cool is that? Being able to study in this lovely area. It's kind of a glassed-in greenhouse, and it has different rooms with different tables. So sometimes student groups will meet there to study. And but yeah, and the whole manor is secured, kind of like our residence halls on campus. You have to show a little key fob for the doors to open from the outside. And then to get out, you have to push a button to get back in to go outside. But the conservatory is an absolutely beautiful area. Jeanette, you probably spent time in here when you were
Most
teaching.
definitely. I loved it in there.
It was really fun being in downtown London when I went, but this is a really cool place to be at.
Well, and in the summer, they rent the place out for weddings, and it's pretty cool. Just the thought of being able to get married here, and yeah. But it's nice that students can get down to London pretty easily, and I think they take advantage of that because, again, Grantham is the nearest town. It's 3 miles away from the manor. Manor's kind of out in the country, and people who live in Grantham, they commute to London for work, and so the students can zip down there, and it's kind of nice because, Marcus, yeah, you were like 2 blocks from Buckingham Palace and in the thick of everything. And it was an excellent location where you were. And, but it's nice for the students and on the Harlaxton program to be able to zip down there quickly.